Hello everybody, my name is Alan Cavagnaro. I'm alongside Carwold or Crashy. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Is there a proper way?
Not really. You can just call me either. It
Okay,
is Crashy
Crashy.
though, yeah.
Okay. So if anyone doesn't know who I'm alongside today, for the holiday series, I'm changing a race to try and change it up. And right now, on Twitter, he is at Elite Crashy, and he is our co-commentator for today for our holiday series race. And well, I'm excited for the Italian Grand Prix. If you did not know, it is a reverse grid, so we'll get right into the race. Are there any things that you'll be predicting or expecting for this race, Crashy?
I'm expecting maybe Ali K17 to come to the forefront here because he does really like the circuit. So this race probably will suit him quite a lot.
Yep. I'm trying to load up the points right now that B-Colt sent over to me on my phone, and my internet's really slow, which does not surprise me. I'll be completely honest. I turn off every electronic product in my house besides my phone and the PS4. Hopefully it works, but I'm trying to load up the points. Right now, Jamie is in the points lead. He has 65 points compared to Clay. He has one less point. He also has a podium this season. And it is downpouring. Looking forward to this race as Jamie has left the session. And our points leader leaving the session. That will play huge consequences to him in this race. It is a 25% race as usual, with obviously 25% and no quali. So, like we said, reverse grid from last week, or not last week, last race. So it's going to provide a very interesting race, Crashy.
Oh yeah, it really will, with some of the faster guys at the back coming through, maybe through the middle to the late part of the race, and yeah, I'm hoping for some really good battles around here, especially with the rain.
Yeah. I will have to tell you, Crashy, your mic is making some weird sounds when you're not talking. I'm not sure if there's any way you can fix that. But for the meantime, from now till the start of the race, we'll go over the points. So like we said, Jamie's in first with 65. Second is Clay with 64. Third place is going to be 63 points for Shelly. And then Michelangelo sits in fourth with 56. I go down through the rest of the grid. There's Dan the Snake, Ali D, Maddie D, Dawido, B-Colt, and Cherry 2 Pie rounding out the top 10. And B-Colt has also left the session, but here we go, the 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix, round number 3 of this holiday championship. And we're green, and one car gets off to a blistering start after jumping out, I believe. That is Davidos looking through the background. There's some people who've already left the session. That's, I believe, Demon, Jamie, and B-Colt. And a 10-second penalty for... Whoa, what happened for... Oh, Davidos. He's hit the wall, 10-second penalty, and he's out of the Italian Grand Prix on the very opening corner. And Ali K has taken the lead due to this. Clay's in second, and third is ERL Falcon. And already we have 4 people in the pits as Alex has left the session. And I'm not sure if we're restarting because everyone is retiring and leaving the session. But now Ali K trying to defend. He's trying to bring Clay to the inside. But holding on is Ali K on the opening lap of this Italian Grand Prix. We do not have many drivers left in this race. It is 13 laps and a 10-second penalty for the OG. And migrating host. Yep, I think we're restarting this one. Everyone else is leaving. Yep. We are restarting, I
think. Yeah, that's pretty obvious now, with basically that first half a lap being pure chaos and drivers just going everywhere.
Yep. I just got an invite, so we will do this again. And I will invite you.
Cool.
So, yeah, last race I thought we were doing a restart, because I saw 2 people leave the session or whatever. But it was me, because I did not know the rules to this. I got called out on it by a couple people. And speaking on getting called out, might as well apologize to a certain driver in this lobby, who I mispronounced her, I wouldn't say mispronounce her nationality. I would say sort of called them another nationality, Cronexus. I called him Serbian. He's actually Croatian. I apologize for that after he corrected me. And I was not able to remember for the second race, and it's actually not letting me join, which is a problem, which means I may have to restart the stream.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a problem. So while I sit here and it does nothing, I will bring up to the point that I looked at the points, and it appears that no driver on the grid has actually gotten more than one podium. So let's say you got a podium in the first race, but they either did not finish, did not start, or only got a points finish and missed out on a podium. So every driver on this championship so far has only gotten one podium, which really shakes up the championship, especially for the top three. They're all divided by only 2 points. So, I mean, it is a close championship, and as we approach, this is actually the midpoint of this championship, as we're at the midway point through this season. You know, it provides a lot of racing, and I'm finally in. Wow, I thought I was going to have to restart the game, but I'll send you an invite. Okay, and hopefully I don't disconnect. That took longer than it should. But like we said, everyone is in the 2002 Ferrari. I did not bring that up, actually. This is the Italian Grand Prix for the 2002 Ferraris. I thought it would have been 2004 Ferraris, but, again, the last 2 rounds, if you missed them, the first round was in Suzuka, and the winner of that one was Shelley. He won his 8th career victory in an online league race in the McLaren MP4-6, the 1991 car, if I'm correct, was it? No, I think it was... Yeah, somewhere around that. I think it was... Okay,
the
I'm not going to say
MP4-6 is a 91 car.
Okay. And then after that... Oh, no, because MP4-4 was 1988. I don't know. I think 1990 was MP4-5B. Again, I don't know how they number the cars. I'm trying to remember. I'll look after the race. I don't want to say any more if I want to say anything wrong. But after that... we headed to the Belgian Grand Prix, where we had the 1996 Williams car, which was the car that Damon Hill won his championship in. The 1991 McLaren was the car that Ayrton Senna won his championship in. Now we're in the 2002 Ferraris, which Michael Schumacher had success in that year. So, I mean, the cars get more and more modern as we go up through the races. And after this, we do have 2 races left. And I'm going to have to check after this to see what other cars we have on the grid for us to race on after these 3 races. We have 2 left, like we said. But right now we have 17 drivers in this lobby. We are missing 3. And hopefully get everyone in here before we start this thing. And I'm sorry for the late delay. But, I mean, it's a quick race. There are only 25% races that have no qualifying. So, they fly by. So, we're just waiting for this race to start. And do you have any comments on this track? Any parts that you like, or any challenging parts for drivers?
Parabolica is my personal favourite part of the track. You can just, if you have the setup right and the line right, you can just throw it in, brake really late, almost at the apex, and get a great run onto the massive front straight, which will definitely be a scene for a lot of overtaking this race, I think.
Thank you very much. I mean, there's 2 parts of the track. Obviously, you have to look at Ascari. That's one of the well-known parts of this track, but then you also have to look at the fact that, I mean, I like the exit where you just trim the right side of the curb, and, you know, the exit or the runoff curbing that you have off Ascari. But then again, I don't really like the entrance of Ascari. I mean, I like the end part of it, but the beginning is, I usually lose a back end and spin off when I do my career modes, and that's why I use a lot of rewinds. But a lot of people are leaving this session. I'm not sure if we're doing another session.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Session. Hopefully my internet lasts through this one. So I will invite you to the one that B Colt's inviting me to.
Thank you.
Here we go. That took very quickly to join. Probably because the Canadian invited me, not someone from overseas. So thank you, B Colt, for sending the invite. And hopefully we get this race underway. In the meantime, I'm probably just going to try and read the comments off my phone, because I haven't actually not looked at them yet. Try and answer any questions. Yes, for the people watching, before we start this race, if you guys have any questions or comments, you can pop them down below, and I'll try and answer them before we start this thing. That'll probably be in a long time. And it looks like we have a full 20 driver grid list with 2 commentators. So that is some good news for us. as we will get ready and rolling, hopefully momentarily. The Italian Grand Prix, hopefully we do.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I also have to point out the fact that we were talking about the corners. I have to point out the Lesmos. I mean, those two corners. I mean, I enjoy going through them. Where you just hook the right side of the car, you hop over the curbs twice. I mean, I enjoy it in career mode, especially in the second Lesmo, where you can use a lot of runoff area. I mean, it works to an advantage when the slipstream actually worked on this game, when you could use as much runoff as possible, gain the momentum down the straight where you could pass them before a Ascari. Plus, that was a DRS straight as well off the second Lesmo. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, that corner is very, very crucial when it comes to racing here as well. You have to bear in mind that as well, like we said. But, yeah, I think that's all we have for us. I mean, we're trying to get this lobby going again. I think we're waiting for a couple minutes so everyone can organize the reverse grid. But the weather, it's forced a heavy rain, and that is the reason because the first race we started was heavy rain, and they don't necessarily want to, quotation marks, rig the weather. So we're going to have to start with the weather we did in the first race. And the difference is that we'll have that weather throughout the race, which will be a little bit of a bummer. But, I mean, Belgium proved a very interesting race. So I'm looking forward to the Italian Grand Prix. We wait for time to count down, and we are ready and rolling.
So who do you think is gonna maybe get the win or the podium this race?
The podium? I mean, like I said, I brought up the stats that every driver, I mean, I won't say every driver, but every podium finisher has only gotten one podium in this championship. No one has gotten multiple podiums. So, I mean, that may change today, or that streak may continue. I mean, I'm looking at that fact. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure, but like we said, Ali K was one of the favorites that you brought up, one of the fastest drivers on this console for this tier, and the AOR F1 tier points leader. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to the race that these guys will be putting on, and hopefully Davidos learns his lesson and does not jumpstart like he did last race. You get sort of a break here. You know, a second chance here. You don't get that every day in league racing. But as time counts down, let's see if we have any questions before we start this race. Nice to see the support from drivers like Ali K, Maddie D, Haslam Al-Assam. Going through the drivers is on the podium, saying, "Go on, Carl, you've got this, man." And podium predictions, like you said. So, like I said, I brought up the stat that every podium finisher has only one podium. Like I said, that could change today. Knowing the weather, knowing these cars, and knowing this track, it's unpredictable. So, I mean, I do not know who's going to win. I mean, that's the fun thing about this series, because, I mean, with the AOR F1 tier, you sort of had a set of drivers who you know would be running up in the front, like Simo or LEK, or Synthetic, and so on and so forth, or Carrots. With this, it's interchangeable. Because last race, Demon started on pole, and he fell all the way back, for example. So, as time counts down, we will begin this Italian Grand Prix in the treacherous conditions. Everyone, pull out your umbrellas. It's time to get ready for the Italian Grand Prix. The 5 red lights. GR Demon on the pole again, and we're green. And on the front row is Demon and Ali K. Ace is on off to a fantastic start as he's trying to make it 3 wide with Ali K. Ali K holds his line to the inside. To the outside is GR Demon. Will Demon be able to hold it on the outside, though? He runs very wide.
Ooh.
Too wide to the point where he's got to cut that, and he's got to run over the little foam there. And it looks like ERL Falcon is able to take the lead. I'm not sure. For a second it said he did, and yes, he did. So ERL Falcon has taken the lead from Ali K. And already in these treacherous monsoon-like conditions, and there's a yellow already in Sector 1 and 2. The OG is out of this race, losing a right front tire. And going up through the field, I can ride on board with Dan the Snake trying to go down to the inside of Ace is on. Ace may run it very wide. But looking throughout the field, ERL Falcon holds his own with Ali K sitting right behind by 1/10. Remember, the slipstream
Dan the Snake now making a move. Dan the Snake making a move maybe on Ace. B Colt might have a look into Ascari. No, he doesn't quite have the straight line speed as Ace with a massive double lockup. He runs onto the runoff area, as do quite a lot of the drivers behind him, and no movement as of yet, as Ali makes a move on the straight, and he will cover off ERL Falcon into Parabolica. It's very close racing, and it looks like both of them have pretty equal exits as Ali runs wide, and that allows Falcon to get the lead once again.
Yeah, very close between these drivers. ERL Falcon is able to lead the first lap of this Grand Prix. And we go further back with Ali K. He's going to try and look to the inside. Is he just going to get the bumper on him? Gives him a little tap. Not going to be able to do it, though. And this will allow Davidos to reel them in as Cronexus has left the session. And remember, Davidos got denied of a victory last race. He led every single lap to the last one until he got a 3-second penalty on the very last corner of the very last lap. He finished 4th in that one. And if Davidos is not careful, he'll get another penalty, as he just saw him cut a corner. And now he's going to be all over Ali K. He's going to look to the inside, but no. Thinks better of it, and the top 3 are going at it. Where Ace is on in 4th, holding his own. Going to go to the back of the pack. I mean, I saw a lot of drivers going 2 and 3 wide through Ascari. I mean, it's not advised for these drivers, but I mean, they do put on a good show. I will say that for sure. But
Jamie gets past Professional, who runs way off the track, and he is now in P12, so just on the fringes of the points at the moment.
Yeah, so again, I mean, I wouldn't say the fringes of the podium, or fringemanship is so completely different. I found out that if you're outside of the top 10, you still get points. We've only done 2 races, and the points leader is 65 points, I believe. And, you know, that's impossible with the F1 style format, as a lot of passing off Parabolica. And that's between Dan the Snake and Ace is on. It's going to be close between the two. Down the straight, looking to the inside, trying to block is Dan the Snake. To the outside goes Ace. They'll be wheel-to-wheel headed into turn number 1. But thinks better of it is B Colt. Look to the inside, riding on board with him. However, he's going to ride the curb to get the better exit. There's Ali D in the background with Shelly. And look at this pack. And I'm riding on board against Demon. Fell back many positions off the start. He's trying to hang it around the outside of Michelangelo. And just trying to find his way through this field. And after starting on second place, not able to capture the deal like we imagined. But B was able to get by Ace Zane for 5th place. Like we said, these reverse grid races always put on a good show for us. And, well, one car's off, that's Ace Zane. Lost a position or 2. As Davidos.
He's going to lose another one to Shelly here, and down to 8th he goes, maybe even to Michelangelo. Yeah, definitely, as Michelangelo speeds past on the run up to Ascari. So Ace Zane dropping from, was it 4th now to 9th? Was it 4th?
Yeah, man, I'm looking on the grid right now. Ace Zane has dropped 5 positions. So do your math. I think, yeah, that'd be 4. He started 4th. But yeah, wheel to wheel, that is Demon. Around the outside as Ace Zane backs off. I was just about to say, fastest lap for Davidos. He's going to be all over Ali K. These two have been going at it while ERL Falcon has been pulling away. So, like we said, I'm not sure if ERL Falcon has gotten a podium yet this season. I know Ali K has not, hence the reason why. I mean, last race was his first race of this championship, and the reason why he started all the way in the front is because he did not get so good of a finish in the Belgian Grand Prix. And Davidos, like we said, finished 4th last week, and missed a win and a podium. While looking on board, this is with Jake LFC against B Colt. These two are going at it, back to the outside. Jake LFC trying to find a way around, as B Colt has to find the escape route, and loses position to Jake.
And another to Alex there, so B Colt dropping just a couple of positions there, so not too worrying so far. There's still quite a lot of this race to go, so he can still get some opportunities to climb back up the pack.
Yep. For anyone watching that's tuning in now, the weather does not end. It will be heavy rain till the end. Like we said, it's not dynamic. It is fixed on heavy rain because the first race we did was going to be heavy rain, and then everyone just left and disconnected from the session. So not to rig the race, not to fix it or anything, we had to do the same weather as the first race, so that's why we're doing heavy rain till the end of this thing. Eero Falcon picks up the fastest lap time, 2.3 seconds, or 2.5 seconds now ahead of Ali K, pulling away. So, again, now fastest lap for Michelangelo, and he's gotten a lot closer to Shelly.
But Ali's gone very deep into turn 1. That might allow Davidos to have a look as they run up to Curva Grande. No, he has to slot back behind Ali as Ollie gets past down the snake just behind that pair.
Yep, if he stays right behind him, he may have a chance to sling it down to the inside. I don't think he will, though. Davidos still staying behind. Second place of Ali K. 5-second stop and go for corner cutting. That is for Beagle. He is now barely inside the top 15 as Ali D has gotten by for 4th place. Another AOR F1 tier driver, as well as Ali K and Shelly as well. And then the brother of Ali D, Maddie D, is an 8th. And then Jamie inside the top 10 as well, going through the grid. Let's talk about the biggest winners and biggest losers. I look down at the grid and I see Alex has lost 10 positions in this race. I can also look at, let's say, his 07 Professional, B Colt, they've lost 8, same as Demon, and Ace Zane lost 7. Who do you think the biggest loser out of everyone is?
I think it's B Colt, who, when I was on board with him, he did have to...
Spinning, Jamie, off of Ascari, and was able to save it and keep it off the wall. I hate to interrupt you, and believe it or not, after that incident, he still gained a position in the race, which is quite funny. But, back to what you were saying.
I thought that B Colt was the biggest loser early on in the race, as when I saw him, he did have to take to the runoff area through turn 1, as he did have a massive lockup, and that did drop him out of the top 10, I think, and that's why he finds himself in P15 at the moment. So yeah, unfortunate for him.
Well, Jake LFC, a 5-second stop-go penalty. He tried to get by Ace Zane, but was able to pick up a penalty as well. Like I said, Alex has now lost 9 positions. I mean, I'd have to say Alex, like we said, 9 positions lost. I think he has a penalty as well. I mean, even without it. Oh, hold on a second. And it looks like Jamie will go to the inside, gets by Alex for P12. And now that is 10 positions he racks up on losing. Started P3, and now he's back to P13 in this race. I mean, we are almost halfway through this thing, believe it or not. And it looks like Eero Falcon has put up a comfortable gap to take his first victory in this championship. But going through the field... It does look...
Carry on.
No, okay. Like we said, carrying through the field. Looks like every single driver inside the top 8 has gained a position besides Ali K. He started second, and he's still in second. So back to you on what you were saying. I don't want to interrupt you.
I was just going to say that Falcon has some amazing pace in these conditions on this track with this car, and it does look like he's definitely going to take home the full points for this race.
So Eero Falcon still leading by 5.5 seconds. And Ali K in second, third Davidos, fourth Ali D, fifth Shelly, sixth Michelangelo, seventh Dan the Snake, eighth Matty D, ninth GR Demon. Running up the top 10 is Ace Zane. Hold on a second. Yellow in sector number 1. 2 drivers, 1 slow, 07 Professional, and that is Alex merging his way back onto the racing surface. It looks like 07 Professional lets him back by. So losing 11 position is now Alex. Now we talk about positions, we talked about the biggest losers. How about we talk about the biggest winners out of these first 7 laps? I mean, we could say drivers such as Matty D, he's gained 7 spots in this race, or Jake LFC, or maybe even Shelly, or maybe even the race leader, Eero Falcon. Who do you have for your biggest winner?
I think Falcon has caught my eye so far, because he did get an absolutely storming start, almost getting Ali into turn 1, and then he managed to get a very good exit out of that first chicane, and he managed to speed past Ali. I think, if I remember that correctly, he managed to speed past him, and now he's just opening up that gap more and more, almost 6 seconds now, which is quite amazing.
Yeah, like we said, I mean, it's not against any driver. Hold on a second. Fastest lap for Ali D. He's on a move to try and catch Davidos for a podium, but like we said, Eero Falcon putting up that gap. It's not against any driver he's done this against. It's AOR F1 veteran and championship leader, Ali K. He's already won 2 races in the AOR F1 tier, and he's opened up a more than a race lead in that championship. And, you know, he's getting absolutely demolished by Eero Falcon. I hate to sound biased, but I mean, look at the gap. I mean, within the first 8 laps, it's 5.5 seconds.
Ali goes really wide. Oh, Ali, sorry to interrupt you there, but Ali did go very wide into the second chicane, and that has allowed Davidos to close up to him. I think Davidos almost running into the back of Ali, and Ollie D has caught right up to this battle between these two.
Yeah. So it could be a 3-car battle between the two. And speaking of a battle, finally GR Demon was able to pass someone in this championship. I think that's the first on-track overtake I've seen him do. So congratulations to him. But going to the field 3-second penalty for Shelly for multiple warnings he's accumulated in this session within the first 8 laps. But Ali K, like we said, I mean, I'll talk about Eero Falcon. Like we said, he pulled off an amazing start, and, you know, like you said, I mean, I'd put him where you said, you know, the biggest winner. He gained 4 spots, and within the first 9 laps, he's opened up a 6.5 second gap. That is, I mean, incredible. With these cars being all realistic as well. I mean, despite them being realistic, they're all the same, because, I mean, they're all the same car. I mean, they're all different handling. I mean, not every day the people that own this game go on to practice these exact cars. He was able to hop in it for the first time in a long time, and was just able to pull off a massive gap against Ali K. So really impressive stuff right there. But like we said, a 3-car battle is about to brew up between these drivers, and actually, never mind, I thought it was a lap car, but that's Cronexus. He's left the session, so it doesn't really matter. But it could be a 3-car battle for the end of this race between Ali K, Davidos, and Ali D. I don't believe any of these drivers have penalties yet. I don't believe Ali D does, as Davidos runs wide in that corner. So that'll give back to Ali D to have some momentum off this corner. Like we said, off the second Lesmo, he could have track extended a little bit to have some momentum down the straight. But I guess not. He'll be all over Davidos, trying to find a way around before the first corner of Ascari. Go underneath the bridge, and he may look to the inside, but he'll think better of it, and think to try and pass him maybe into the entrance of Parabolica, and just get a superb exit off Ascari, and on board, he runs wide, and I don't think he did, but now it looks like Davidos, he's going to try and get by Ali K, so that battle will transition between these two, and around the outside, will he be able to do it? He hangs his car around the outside off the second part of Parabolica. However, Ali K is able to hang it through. And I was going to say, I would not be surprised if Davidos was able to get by. I mean, on the outside with these conditions, with the wet conditions, there's a lot more grip when it comes to the outside in the corners, but he'll have a look to the outside, back to the inside. I think he'll finally be able to do it. He nudges his way through, bangs him, and it looks like Davidos is able to get through, but there's 3 wide action, and here comes Ali D from 4th to 2nd, and he's able to go around the outside and take P2 from Davidos and Ali K. He got both of them napping underneath their umbrellas in these conditions, and Ali D is able to drive by for P2, one of the best overtakes I've seen him do in a long time, and he worked for that one, to say the least. Michelangelo, 3 seconds, but yeah, that was a good pass, and probably the best pass of the race. We do have 4 laps to go, and I don't think we have any more battles going on. Let me confirm that.
It does look like everyone is very spaced out. We're talking about over a second between each car, apart from this second to fifth actually now, as Shelly is joining them. So yeah, this 2nd to 5th train is basically the only battle going on track at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, sort of a commentator's curse, like we just said. I mean, before the race, we were praising Ali K. We're saying he's going to win this race, or he's going to get a podium, he's going to do so well. And I mean, now he's lost 2 positions, he's outside of the, you know, a podium picture. And with only a couple laps to go, the odds are not in his favor. And, you know, for a driver, I mean, that hurts. I mean, he lost 2 positions in one measly corner in a chicane. And, I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. It was just that he got, you know, body slammed by Davidos, and both of them got caught sleeping, and Ali D was able to get by. However, it looks like Davidos is trying to reel in Ali D again, and it looks like these two could be going at it to the line, or to the end of this thing. Well, like we said, I mean, it's been a good race so far. do you have any more predictions or comments on this race? I mean, we are coming to the final stage of this thing. I'm not sure if anything else can happen.
I do think that Shelley will get past Ali before the end, because he is hot on his heels at the moment and only 5 tenths behind Ali at the moment. And it does look like Ali is really struggling at the moment with especially later on in the race, because he was actually going pretty well in the first part, not quite allowing Falcon to get away, but he was holding his own against Davidos for quite a few laps. But now it does look like, as the tyres are getting older, his pace is definitely dropping off.
Yeah, I mean, from the live chat of this live stream, when Ali K put in, he was actually glad. He was glad it was raining. He said, blinking finally, it's heavy rain again. And hold on a second, there's a yellow in Sector 3, and I suppose that is Demon. Demon has spun off the exit of Ascari, the second person that has made a mistake on the exit of Ascari. But yeah, we come to 2 laps to go. Like we said, Ali K was actually thrilled to have these conditions, and I'm kind of surprised that he still hasn't really shown us, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say skill or pace, but he's just been unlucky overall. I mean, hold on a second, Davidos goes by Ali D, and I apologize how he missed that one. We're just talking about Ali K, but now Davidos goes by for second place, and now Ali D's gonna have to find a way around him with 2 laps to go. However, hopping over the curbs again, he's gonna be side by side with him off the exit. Ali D picks up P2 again. And Davidos still needs to find a way around. I mean, I just saw them approach the chicane there. I just saw Ali D using every single piece of curbing as possible, just as much to not get any penalty or any warning. And Ali D took advantage of that chicane, was able to get by Davidos with 2 laps to go. Speaking with Ali K, I don't think Shelley will get by. Do you remember, he has a 3-second penalty, does Shelley. So even if he does pass him, I don't think he'll have track position or have the advantage in front of him. But, I mean, we are coming to the final lap in this thing, and as we go through Parabolica with ERL Falcon, he's put on a good show for the fans. And when I say that, I mean, he's shown that he's had the pace to win here today, and a gap almost 10 seconds as we come to the final lap today in the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. Second place is Ali D, third is going to be Davidos, but the battle for 4th could go on between Shelley and Ali K. Despite us knowing that Ali K will get 4th no matter what. Here comes Shelley down the straight. He'll look to the outside. He may try switching to the inside. I don't think he will. Though on the final lap, he's going to be all over Ali K, trying to look to get by. We ride on board with Shelley approaching the last lap of this Italian Grand Prix. And we go further up through the grid. I mean, these drivers aren't much separated besides ERL Falcon. They all look pretty close to each other. A lot of lag with Shelley. He may try and hop over the curb just a little bit, try and gain some momentum like Ali D did. But again, Shelley is trying to find a way, but Ali K is defenseless. Which one will get by on this very last lap today? We look back with Ali D and Davidos, a 3-second penalty for 07 Professional. And like we said, it's going to be close between Ali K and Shelley on this final lap of this Italian Grand Prix. I don't think he'll have enough time to get by him. He's just going to be on the nick back of him. But like we said with ERL Falcon, he's put on a show today, and he's shown us the pace. I mean, 9 seconds. He didn't even start in the front row. And he's able to come through as he takes victory in the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. As he wins the 3rd round of this championship is ERL Falcon. Second coming across the line will be Ali D. Third will be Davidos coming across the line. He'll finally get a podium. And redemption after the loss he had a couple of days ago. Ali K will be 4th. 5th will be Shelley due to his time penalty. 6th will be Michelangelo. 7th, Dan the Snake. 8th, Matty D. 9th, Jake LFC. Jake LFC 10th, Jamie 9th. That rounds out the top 10. And on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate that race? I mean, it went by pretty fast, but I mean, we saw some good battles.
I thoroughly enjoyed that race, especially the constant back and forth between Ali, Davidos, and Ollie. Ollie is personally for me my driver of the day. Came through the field very nicely to finish P2. Of course, pulled off that amazing double overtake, and yeah, that he thoroughly deserves that driver of the day from me.
I'm debating on which one. I mean, I hate doing this, but I mean, it could be given to Euro Falcons because I mean, look at the fact. Matt just put Euro Falcon and Ali D in a race, and who would win that? I mean, the pace was shown by Euro Falcon. I mean, yes, you maybe put Euro Falcon midway through the grid, like where Ali D was, and I mean, he could probably do the same thing. I don't want to take any credit away from either driver. But, I mean, we also have to look at the fact that he opened up a 10-second gap in a 13-lap race without starting on the front row. I mean, I'm going to have to give it to, Euro Falcon. But,
Fair enough.
That will end out this Grand Prix. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. We'll go through the end, plus a time penalty as well, for Euro Falcon. You see, it's still able to win, but the grid goes as follows. Eero Falcon, Ali D, Davidos, Ali K, Shilly, Michelangelo, Dan the Snake, Matty D, Jamie, Jake LFC, Ace Zane, Gier, Demon, Beagle, Sun Professional, Car Alex, Clay, Noada, Izumi, that's one of the AI drivers, and the OG.
That's Cronexus.
Yes, Cronexus. And that rounds up the grid for this third round of this championship for the Holiday Classic Series. We hope everybody at home is enjoying travels on home or enjoyed this race. My name is Alan Cavagner. I'm alongside Crashy. I will see you for the 30th, I believe. I will be alongside Alex Lilliart for the penultimate round of this championship. And then after that, the final round in January, I will be alongside Ginger Andy for the finale of this 5-race championship. Hopefully everybody at home has enjoyed this race. My name is Alan Cavagner. I'm alongside Crashy. We'll see you guys next time for another video on this channel. Have a safe night, and peace.
Goodbye.